Hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to be doing an all drugstore makeup tutorial because I just went to Walgreens for some dish soap and I saw that they were putting out the Wet n Wild, I think it's called GOTH-O-GRAPHIC, correct me if I'm wrong, collection. So I picked up a couple things that I thought would be intriguing for me, things that I don't have. So we're going to keep this totally drugstore and I'm going to try to keep it as Wet n Wild as possible, but there's a couple things that I don't have that are Wet n Wild, or I do and I hate them. So if you're interested in seeing a drugstore springtime makeup tutorial, go ahead and keep watching. So it's like 30 degrees in Chicago right now, but I don't know why. I'm just totally feeling spring today. So we're gonna do like a spring type of look. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with the Mega Cushion Foundation from Wet n Wild. I used this once and I liked it and I haven't used it since. It's not as wet as it was. I'm gonna actually take the cushion out and flip it. If you guys have cushion foundations and didn't know you could do that, you could do that. You could see how wet it is now. The other side was pretty dry. This might be a little tan for me. Yeah, but it's okay, we'll make it work. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my beauty blender and just start to work that onto the skin. So I feel like Wet n Wild comes out with something new every month and it's crazy. They must have like, I mean, I'm sure this is not new news. They must have the best marketing team because they constantly come out with new collections and they kill it every time. Like the skulls on this are just awesome. I love it. And that's kind of why I wanted it. I have like a weird obsession with skulls. So even if I don't like, I picked up the white highlighter, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. I'm sure you guys have seen it all over YouTube already, but I typically wouldn't go for a white highlighter, but I did want to pick it up because I do not have one in my collection. The closest thing I have is like Mary Luminizer, and that's not even totally white. So I'm interested to see how that works for me, especially when I'm a little tanner. I mean, I'm not actually tan, it's fake, obviously. But all right, so I think that'll do for the foundation. So the next thing I'm gonna use is my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I did have the Photo Focus, I have a hair on my mouth, the Photo Focus concealer from Wet n Wild, but I hated it. It smelled like paint and it was so drying. So I know I like this one, so we're just gonna go in with this baby. And I guess we are going full glam today. I forget how hydrating this concealer is. I struggle with concealers a lot because I have very fine lines under my eyes and they crease really fast. And if it's too dry, it just looks like a cakey mess under there. So I need to remember this one is really hydrating and I like it a lot. I need to keep that out. And before that gets too creasy, I'm gonna go ahead and set with the Wet n Wild pressed powder. This is the color Light, I think, Warm Light. And then I'm also just gonna set anywhere else I had that concealer. Especially in my fine line up here that is always out to play. And then because this foundation is so dewy and I feel like it doesn't set down, I'm just gonna take this Ego Tools big fluffy brush and set everything else lightly. All right, so for bronzer slash contour, but I'm gonna use it as a bronzer, I'm gonna go in with this contouring palette by Wet n Wild and I'm just gonna dip lightly into this color because it's really pigmented and is pretty warm, so it can go bad pretty fast. So if you're gonna use something like this, just go in with a light hand to start. And I'm just gonna start to warm up the face. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. I'm just gonna add a little dimension. I love this brush by Japanese, I think that's how you pronounce it, but my goodness, it sheds, and it sheds even more every time I wash it, which is so annoying, but I really like the effect it gives because it's a nice light touch. I should just get the NARS one. I'm sure it'll be better. That turned out really nice. I like that a lot. So now let's go ahead and blush. This is the Rosé, actually, I think. Rosé Champagne. Okay, crazy hair. Again, Wet n Wild. It's just a nice peachy blush, and I'm just gonna take that same brush I was using and go in. This is a nice spring blush. I say that every time I try to say blush, I say brush. It's got a little shimmer to it. I like it. All right, so now for the fun part. I picked up the Wet n Wild Megaglow highlighting powder. Oh, I just dug my finger into it. And now it's all over my pants. Hold please. All right, so I just dug my finger right into the skull, but you could see a little skull imprint along with my finger. But this is a pretty white highlighter, which like I said in the beginning, I do not have. So let's just go ahead and, yeah, it looks like it has like a purple cast to it, if you could see that on my finger. Which I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that, but yeah, it's got like a pinkish purplish cast. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks pretty, but I don't know how that's gonna look on me. So I think I might like the Moon Tears, this one, which is the like loose highlighter, a lot better. But I had to pick them both up because, you know, I was almost gonna pick up the highlighting stick, and I've had Wet n Wild highlighting sticks before and I don't like them, but like I was like, I need this. I absolutely need it. And I didn't need it. And somehow I came to my senses before I checked out, because I knew I wouldn't end up using that and I would just be wasting money. But I'm sure you guys have seen, it has this cool, the sifter is like a skull, which is awesome. I love that detail. So let's go ahead and start with this one just to see how we like it. And I'm going to take it on my typical highlighting brush, if my cat would move out of the way. Thank you. This is a Morphe M510. And let's just see. First, get the brush hairs off my face. Yeah, definitely has that like purplish cast. Yeah, definitely, which I don't know. I'm not too big into that for myself. Maybe if I was doing some kind of like crazier look. It's pretty, it's pigmented just like their other one. So if you like one of those like more purplish casts, I think this is definitely a good one for you. But let's go in on the other side with, if I can open it, the loose highlighter. And I do not have any loose highlighters in my collection, so I'm pretty excited about this. Let's put it on our finger. It's a very pretty champagne color. There's definitely glitter in it, but it's pretty fine glitter. It's not like huge and chunky. Hopefully you guys can see that on the camera. But I'm gonna put it on my face, so I'm gonna take a different highlighting brush. This is my Wet n Wild highlighting brush. I'm just gonna dip in what's in the cap and do this side. Wow. Yep, that's a winner. That's so pretty. That is very pigmented. You guys have to be able to see that on the camera. I like that a lot more than the other one. Very reflective, blends like a dream. Okay, so my camera died, but what I did is I went over the purple with the Moon Tears, and that is looking super reflective, but I definitely like it better by itself. As you can see on this side, that is just so pretty, and I think that will complement a lot of skin tones. So yeah, this is what it looks like with both of them. You saw what it looked like by itself, and then this is the other side. So I'm gonna stick with this. I don't care if I look like that funny because I have like 2 different highlighters on each side. And I'm gonna highlight down the nose. I might actually go back to my Walgreens and get another one of these, because although I'm sure they're gonna make this permanent, because I'm sure this is gonna be a complete hit. And you really only need a little product, and this is gonna last a long time. Just go ahead and hit up there on the chin. I literally only used a tiny bit, so awesome. This is definitely worth it so far. This one, if you like that cast, I think it would be, but purplish, pinkish casts on my skin just doesn't complement me the best. So I'm just gonna do what I always do when tap it in so everything blends seamlessly. Okay, so I picked up a couple more things. I picked up the Liquid Catsuit eyeshadow. I picked up the color Pure Intention and then Mystic Dreamer. So Pure Intention is kind of like a champagne color. I'll swatch it for you guys. And I've never used one of these because I'm not typically like a cream shadow type of person. My cat's about to knock over all my makeup. The amount of times I have to like put my hands in my dog's mouth is insane. Anyway, this is Pure Intention. Looks really pretty. It is glittery and I'm worried it kind of is a little patchy. So I think if you like applied this and then like wanted to add more, it might pick up that shadow. And this is definitely one that's gonna dry down, and if you blend it out, there's gonna be glitter fallout. So I would definitely do that as your last step. And then this one is Mystic Dreamer, which is outside of my comfort zone. But again, I just thought, hey, it's there, let's try it. Same consistency, a little patchy, and I think the glitter would definitely fall out, but that's like any one of these products, I think that would happen. So this is Mystic Dreamer and then Pure Intention. They look pretty though. I really do like how they look. And then I picked up the Skull Prayer Liquid Liner. This is a metallic liquid liner, and I do not have any white liners, so I was like, heck, let's just pick it up. I didn't think I would wear the pink or the purple. All right, so immediately when I swatch it, you can see the brush is like hairs and it's frayed. So this might be a little bit difficult to use. And then you could see the swatch right over here. It's a little patchy. It's definitely not opaque. So this might be one that you just use like to highlight a little bit in the inner corner or something like that. I don't think that would look, I mean, if you were going for kind of a like wild look where you wanted like a white eyeliner, I think this would be kind of hard to build up. So I don't know, let's see. So what I wanted to do is I want to first use my Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach palette, which I'm obsessed with. I love these. These are so good, so affordable, so worth it. And I want to just go in with this color all over the eye. I think that would be really, really pretty. So first I'm gonna go ahead and just take a fluffy brush, again with my pressed powder that I used in the beginning from Wet n Wild, and I'm just gonna make sure everything is nice and set so everything blends on top nicely. So I wanna just take that peachy shadow and apply that all over the eye, and then maybe we'll try to work this color in, the Pure Intention. I think that might work. So I'll leave the inner portion kind of alone so we can work that in, but I'd like to just wear this matte, but I do want to see how that product works. So we're just gonna go ahead and apply this all over the eyes. This shade is not as pigmented as the other ones. Switching to a fluffy brush, I feel like that is so weird. I feel like that is not showing up very well. It's almost like blending itself away. Maybe we'll go in with the color above it because I know that color is pigmented, this orange shade right here. Maybe it's that brush. Let me switch to a different flat brush. Yeah, that's better. Granted, I'm still using that other shade, but. And then I'm just gonna blend that out. All right, and then I'm gonna take just a bullet brush. Again, this is a Wet n Wild brush, and I'm gonna take that peachy color, just run that under the eye. Connecting to the outer corner, and all I've done is used really those two shades, and I barely used that first shade. I wish these had names. The lighter peach color, because it wasn't going on very opaque. So this is pretty much just the darker orange warm shade all over the eye, and just blend it out as much as possible. I think that's gonna be a trend for spring. I think it's gonna be peachy, pinky tones, which is kind of always a spring thing. Like pastels, one color all over the eye. I've been seeing a lot of that lately, and I like it because that's my style. Yeah, that's actually really pretty as is, but we must try the shadow, and I think the pink is gonna be like too pink and it's gonna fight with it, so we're just gonna go in. I'm scared this is gonna totally ruin my look, but it's okay, it's just makeup, we can take it off. So let's go ahead with the Pure Intention. The wand is very flimsy. Let's just put it here, and like I said, if you blend it out, I think some glitter is gonna fall, so be careful. Try to be kind of precise with where you place it. Oh, whoa, that was a lot. Too much, retreat. So I'm strategically trying to keep it on this inner corner. It's pretty. Actually, I'm gonna take it a little farther just to kind of blend it. I could feel it setting down already. That's pretty, actually. So with that flat brush I was using, I'm just gonna take the remainder and pat over. Because again, I don't want to blend it so glitter falls down my face. I just want it to like blend nicely. Pat over just that edge. You can see glitter is already starting to move. Yeah, I like that actually, that's pretty. Go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. Nice, I like it. It's different for me. I'm gonna just take some of that Moon Tears and I'm gonna just throw that right in the inner corner. We don't need too much since I've got glitter in there, but I always like to open up that inner corner a little bit. All right, so I just went in right here and blended that inner corner a little bit, and I feel like most of the glitter has fallen off of that shadow. So that, like I said in the beginning, might be one that you just really don't want to blend too much. Really use that as your last step, because I pretty much have no glitter left and it's kind of fallen down a little bit, but that's okay. I like the product. I'm gonna have to fiddle around with it a little bit more. It's just different for me. I've never bought those like Stila ones because I was afraid of things like this, so I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna have to mess around with it and see what I think over time, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and add some mascara. I'm not gonna do anything to my brows. I'm just gonna go ahead and set them up because I'm just not into it right now. I just dyed them, so I don't think I need any more pigment. So I'm gonna go do all that and then I'll meet you back here in just 1 second. All right, you guys, I went ahead and put on my mascara. I didn't put any false lashes on because I really want to give this mascara a shot. This is the Voluminous Superstar X Fiber. This is new. I've tried it like twice and you can see what it looks like. It's a little bit clumpy. I think this is Loreal. Yeah, it's Loreal for sure. It's a little clumpy, but it does give my lashes a nice curl and it makes them look a lot thicker than they are. So I'm gonna have to keep trying this before I can give you like my true thoughts on it, but it's one of those like black primers. It has two sides. One's a primer side, one's the mascara side with the fibers. So I don't know, we'll see how we feel about this. But on my lips, I didn't use a Wet n Wild color because I really like how this color looks with this eyeshadow. This is the Balmain X L'Oreal in the shade Confession. It looks like this. These are awesome. They're really nice and long wearing and hydrating, and as they kind of wear off the lips, they leave like a nice stain. I have a full review of this on my channel. If you're interested in that, I will list that below or I'll put a card up here. I love this and I think it complements this eyeshadow perfectly. And let's see what else. Oh, I added both of the highlighters to my shoulders and then my like collarbone. I used the white and the Moon Tears, the white Raven and the Moon Tears. If you're gonna pick something up from the collection and you only wanna pick up one thing, I think the Moon Tears is definitely the way to go. This was $6.99. This guy was $4.99, and I believe the eyeshadows were $4.99 and the liner was $3.99. I was kind of kicking myself as I was doing my mascara because I didn't use the liner, so we're gonna go ahead and use it because that's kind of silly to not use it. So I'm gonna just throw it right in here and then blend that out before I move my eyes, as I'm moving my eyes already. It's definitely bright, so I'm just gonna take an Eco Tools concealer brush and kind of push that in to add some lightness to the inner corner. Well, that kind of took away some of the powder, but you guys get the gist. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet. Might not be the way to go when you're like layering it on top of things, but we're gonna do it to the other side because what you do to one side, you must do to the other. That's a little better. I think I just applied too much over there. So yeah, it added a little brightness, but I don't know. I think that's not opaque enough to wear as a liner, so I'm not entirely sure what I would do with it. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you're gonna pick something up, pick this baby up, totally worth it. There was one more, and as they were just putting them out at the Walgreens by my house, there was one more, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and just pick it up because I really like it. So I hope this was fun for you. Let me know if you guys have any questions below. As always, if you're interested in seeing more videos from me, please subscribe. It means the world to me. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it so I know to keep making videos like this. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.